Good evening and welcome to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch. The lads are back with you. We have with us tonight Dino. Dino, have you had a good day?
Nah, boring.
Fair enough. We have Dan Seth. We got Jacob Kirkbride. Have you had a good week?
Yeah, decent week, but pretty miserable day, to be honest. I won't lie.
All right, fair dues. Sean Middleton, our top interviewee. Have you had an all right weekend?
Well, all right.
Oh, you know what? I wish I'd never started asking you all. You're all doom and gloom.
It's that game yesterday, man.
Shut up. We've also got the Mad Mistake. Are you recovering from your COVID? Are you all right now?
I've had a fantastic weekend apart from Sunderland spoiling it last night. I had a bottle of wine for the first time. My first New Year's drink this year. A bottle of wine last night. I had a bloody bad head this morning, though.
Good man.
and finally, we're joined by Michael Bowers down the bottom. Had a good week, Michael?
I done all right. Take football out of it, can't complain.
All right, fair dues. All right. Don't forget, we are live, so you can join us via the live chat. Ask us anything you like, and we'll try and respond as best we can to you. Already on the live chat, shout out to Thane, friend of the show, Casey, Cameron, Jude, who's always with us, a loyal follower of the channel. Thank you, Casey, and the Red and White podcast, which is Jack, isn't it?
Yes.
Jack Dodds, yes.
Jack Dodds.
Jack Dodds. So also on there, Sean's girlfriend, Joanne, Conrad. Our editor, who's sitting out this week, is watching as well. Thinks his invite got lost in the post. No, Conrad.
With Hermes. Got lost with Hermes.
Conrad,
that came up.
Conrad, it didn't get lost in the post. We just didn't send you one, mate. All right. There you go. Right then, look. Sunderland won, Hull City won last night on Sky. We all watched it. Mixed views across social media. I want to start this off by, I'll tell you what, we'll say, was it 2 points lost, Dino?
Nah, I don't think it was. Well, 1-0 down, for God's sake. I mean, when you come back from 1-0 down and end up drawing the game, to me, that's a good result. Forgetting Hull City are in the top two, aren't they? They're one of the favourites for promotion. So to say it's 2 points drop, I think it'd be a fool to say that. For me, it's a point gain because we're getting beat. I know we're equalised within, I think it was McGeady said I was in like 20 to 30 minutes. But then, other than that, them hit the post. Lee Bird's made a min save. So if anything, them pelted us a little bit. We didn't really do much to them. So for me, point gained.
All right. So anybody says it's 2 points lost is a fool. So the Mad Mistake.
I'm a fool. I am a complete fool if there's 2 points dropped. You're playing at home in League One and you have to win your home match. As simple as, regardless whether there's fans in the ground or not. You've got to take the game to the opposition side. Burge cut his eye. He couldn't even see out of his eye, and he wasn't taken out. So for me, that was bad. That was bad from the start. Burge, as a player, should say, look at, boss, I can't see straight. Take us off. He should have been taken off straight away. But yes, 2 points dropped, Mr. Wee Philly.
Well, I get what you're saying about not seeing straight. I mean, my eyes are not that good. I mean, have a look at my wife. And... she'll be into fillers in a bit. I know she will. Go on, Mad Mistake. What you
I often look at your wife on that video you put up. When I get a bit lonely.
Yeah. Oh God, behave yourselves.
This is rated PG.
Right. Okay.
Kids don't watch this.
So, was it 2 points lost, Jacob?
It's a difficult one. I understand what Dino is saying. Hull were in the top, but I think desperate times right now call for desperate measures. We should be turning these draws into wins, to be honest. And yes, it's really looking unlikely that we're going to win promotion at all this season. Now it's just like we're not picking up wins now. These any chance that we get of wins, we're turning them into draws, and we lack so much quality in our side to like really go on to win a game of football. And January is going to be a big month for us, and the signing of Carl Winchester today, hopefully it's a start. But disappointed not to win the game, but definitely I think there were some things yesterday that Lee Johnson, I have faith he'll have the ability to work with the players and get them improved for Tuesday night and also AFC Wimbledon next Saturday.
Dino, you're wanted in there?
I don't get it, mate. Like, have you seen the way we've been playing? We're due against Northampton, but we're disappointed that we're due against Hull. I mean, I don't get why everyone's so doom and gloom. Have you seen the way we're playing? Have you seen the squad we've got? The squad isn't good enough. And to draw against Northampton, we didn't play well. And then to draw against Hull, for me, I don't understand why it's so negative. It's a good draw against Hull. We're getting beat. The way we're playing is terrible. They hit the post. Keeper made a good save. I don't get why everyone's so doom and gloom saying it's a bad result. I don't get it. I must be the deluded one because I haven't a clue.
Mad Mistake, you're one in there?
I'm just so negative and all doom and gloom for the state of the football club at this moment in time. The way Stuart Donald let this team go this demise of our football club. It's ridiculous the way Stuart Donald let this happen to this fantastic club. It's ridiculous. That's why it's all doom and gloom, because it is an absolute garbage team. It's a mediocre team. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. The players don't want to try. The players have no passion. They have no desire. They have no will. They're just turning up for the goddamn wage. There's only one or two players out there actually care for the shirt, which is so depressing.
So for me, we've got to lower our expectations a little bit this season. I mean,
we shouldn't. We should, man. We should be beating these sides. I don't care.
That means no, man. That means no.
Who they are.
Dino, it was the fact
beating these teams.
Jacob.
I was going to say it was the fact that yesterday it was the same midfield and the same front three that started in the Lincoln game as well, and Lincoln were top two when we played them. So I thought that we've got a decent chance of all 3 points.
But you've got to look at you're only as good as your last game, and look at our last game. It was a shit game against Northampton.
You can't really judge that one, though.
Of course you can. How can you?
No, they've literally just come back from COVID for that one. This one, they had like a full week to prepare.
A week's not going to make much of a difference, though, Jacob. It's not. I mean, it's like doing the Great North Run. You can't train for a week and then run it. You've got to accumulate. So a week's not going to make a difference.
Let me in. All right. Well, we need to ask the Mad Mistake. All right. Would a week recovery make a difference after recovering from COVID?
It all depends if the individual players had COVID. We don't know how many players had COVID. We don't know how many players have missed a lot of training. Yes, a week would make some difference. I think a week would make some difference. But again, I didn't see anything in the side last night that showed me that wanted to win that game of football. Diamond was okay. The midfield is absolutely shocking. And to play one up front for me is just not good enough.
Right. Sean, was it 2 points lost last night?
Yeah, 2 points lost.
Hang on. Let me quickly put in then Sean, according to Dino, you're a fool as well.
Dino's loving that.
At the end of the day, I'll just read a couple of stats out quickly. 1 win in 9 games, in 9 league games. That's the worst run since we crashed out of the championship. 13 points from 10 home league games in the third tier is nothing short of embarrassing. And most of all, you can rule out that the supporters are the problem for these players being gutless and useless. 2 points dropped. We should be trying to win every home game. It's not deluded. Expectations is there. We're the biggest club in this division by a mile. Biggest club outside the Premier League by a mile. So we should be winning every game at home.
Right. Okay. So who is the problem? Let me guess.
Salmon pants.
Who's the problem, Sean?
Who's the problem?
Yeah.
Well, the recruitment side of it. The recruitment side of it. The owner, he's bought in.
That's the one you was.
The owner's bought the players in. He's bought average players in. The recruitment's been terrible, but it's sad state of affairs. It's just 10th. We're 10th in the third division football. That's sinking. You know what I mean?
Right. All right then. Michael, 2 points lost.
I'm in between the two extremes. I'm not. How can I put this?
Stop being offensive, man.
Go on, Dino. What are you saying?
Don't be offensive. Just say it how it is. Don't sit on the fence. Just say it how it is.
To be honest, I was just happy to sit there and listen to everyone rant. It was funny. Okay, if I had to lean one way or the other, I would lean more towards what Dino's thinking. I think it's a decent point in isolation. My disappointment isn't that result. It was Northampton, Bristol Rovers, Rochdale, MK Dons, Burton and Wigan. Those are the games that I've said that I'm more disappointed with than last night. Did I think we were great? No. I think the first 20 minutes Hull battered us, got level, evened out a little bit when Tom Eaves went off. Second half was pretty much a non-event. We had the lion's share of possession, but there's no point in having it if you're not going to do anything with it. So, point, it's okay. I wouldn't call it a good result, but I wouldn't call it a terrible one either. It's okay. Move on to the next. It just puts pressure on games coming up. So, yeah.
Right. Just very quickly before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to Anthony Baxter, who normally contributes on the show. We delivered a parcel to him, that's all, this week, and would have. So hello to Anthony Baxter, friend of the show. Thanks for tuning in. We said we'd give him a shout out. Right, what I want to say about the game last night, right? For me, I was trying to pick out a man of the match, and it was a game of two halves. Without a doubt, it was certainly a lot better second half, right? But for me, my man of the match second half was definitely by a million miles Max Power. So I'd like to go straight. I would like to go. The thing is, right? I watched it and I knew. I thought I've got to mention this tomorrow, and Sean will go off it because Sean, you're so blinkered on hating Max Power, right? When they moved Max Power to right back yesterday, I thought he did a decent job.
Agreed.
Now I'll tell you what. Now I may have. I don't know if I've been watching it. I don't know if I've been watching a different game or not, right? But for me, I thought he did super. He might not be man of the match second half. I might be, twisting your melons. However,
no surprise.
However, the thing is, I thought he was very good second half. I really do. So I was going to go straight to Sean, but the Mad Mistakes waving like Billy O to try and get in there. Go on.
Why on earth are we playing a midfielder at right back? Why?
Well, we brought it right back on.
This is the state of the club we have at this moment in time. That we have a useless midfielder like Max Power. We've got to play him at right back. It's pathetic.
Go on, Terry. Go on.
He's saying that, right? But 09's been playing right back for 2 years, and he's a centre midfielder.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on. Dino. Oh, sorry, Terry.
Stuart Donald's ruined this goddamn club. He's ruined the club. The sooner he gets out of the club, the better. He needs to go now. This takeover, will it happen? Will the takeover happen? It's absolute bollocks. Everything's bollocks at this moment in time.
Can I say something, though?
You can, Dino. Go on.
Do you not think Power played better than McLaughlin going forward? I thought Power offered different.
Definitely.
I thought McLaughlin was, like, when he goes forward, he's not, like, he doesn't commit. He's not quick enough. He doesn't commit to going forward. He's more like, he's a bit hesitant. For me, Power was bombing down that side.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he put in a ball. Maybe Charlie White and Gooch should have probably scored from it because it zipped across the front post. But for me, I thought Power played actually quite good right back. Obviously, I would prefer him not to play at all because I still think he's good. But
we need our midfielders to provide something for the forwards, not just the wing play all the time. We need something from the centre of midfield.
Yeah, right, but are you then saying we need our midfielders? Surely you're not saying put Max Power into midfield.
Max Power's not good enough. It is not good enough for our midfield. We cannot play Leadbitter, Power and Scour together. It is absolutely a waste of time. We're never going to get promoted. Never with them three in midfield.
Play Power at right back.
Okay.
I must admit, like Sean, every time someone mentioned Max Power's name, you were going, oh, like, even when he wasn't playing that bad, it's like every time you hear Max Power's name, you just hate on the bloke. I mean, I don't hate him, I just think he's a crap footballer, but you go into a very deep, like, I hate him. Like, even the mention of his name, it really winds you up. Even if you just say Max Power, you just get really wound up by it.
Right. Well, Sean. Do you not agree that that Max Power had a good second half?
I think the first half. I think
not the first half. Not talking about the first half. Do you not think Max Power had a good second half?
No, I'm talking. Well, let me speak. You're asking me a question, so obviously let me explain.
Right.
About the second half.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the first half, Hull were the better side. They were causing us problems, obviously down that side as well. I forget who was causing us the problems, but anyway, McLaughlin was getting turned inside out. I'm not sure why he got took off in the second half, but why would you put, like you see, a midfielder at right back when, do you know what I mean? Max Power's never played there before. Gooch's actually played right back before, so why not put Gooch there? But my thing.
Dino's going to tell you.
Lee Johnson came out saying that some of the players in training have been performing well in positions they didn't know they could play. That's why he done it. That's what he actually said. That's what I heard. That's the quote, saying that players are playing in different areas in training and they played really well in training. So he said he's going to try it in a match because at the end of the day, we do need a bit of depth. We've only got one technically right back and Luke O'Nine's injured. So he's experimenting, and to be fair, I thought he played our race defensively and attacking. I did.
I thought, well, I mean, he didn't really pose any threats. I thought in the second half, that's probably why he didn't sort of. He cleared a couple of chances where there was crosses coming in, had it clear. But I mean, I suppose he was all right. But the bigger problem, as Terry was saying earlier on, is obviously the midfield, and in midfield he's non-existent. He's not good enough. Maybe you could play him right back, but I just think that squad's
you
to
think
start.
he's the worst footballer in the world, don't you?
No, not the worst. I mean,
he's a question, right?
He's one of the worst.
Sorry,
right.
Sean.
Go on.
Here's a question, right? We'll bring Mr. Winchester in, right? So who do we drop from midfield? Do we decide to play Max Power at right back and not bring back Luke O'Nine? What happens?
That's a good question. Good question.
Because Power's the captain, let's put Power at right back. Let's make another position out the position for somebody else.
But doesn't it just show that Lee Johnson doesn't rate the bloke to keep him in centre midfield by putting him right back? Doesn't that just show that Lee Johnson doesn't rate him to keep him in centre midfield?
He doesn't rate him anyway because he's took him off the last couple of games. He's even left Scowen on, and Scowen's done nothing in the games to take Power off. So at least
Lee Johnson's realised.
Lee Johnson's saying that he's crap. So this Winchester's obviously going to come in and got.
You know what I want to see? I want to see something set down as stamp from Lee Johnson. Bring Carl Winchester in, make him captain straight away, drop Max Power from captaincy, and put Max Power. I don't know what to do with Max Power.
In the bin.
You can't play Scowen and Max Power together. One of them's got to go on the subs bench. You bring Carl Winchester in, you make him captain, and give him in charge of the team for me.
Right. I'll go to Jacob, then we'll come to Michael when to get in. Jacob.
Yeah, I think let's just not fully focus on Max Power here. The rest of the midfield three, for me yesterday, Grant Ledbetter, he was just making pointless, like long balls over the top towards the forward line. It didn't work at all. I thought he had a poor game. Josh Scowen, I mean, before we got him, QPR fans, what did he call him? The rat? Like, yes. Chasing after people. Have we got the right version of Josh Scowen at all? Like, whenever I watch him play, like the games I've seen him in a midfield three for us, it's always sideways and back. I mean, I'm not really understanding the hype when it comes to Josh Scowen at the moment. I mean, Carl Winchester, could he potentially come into the side to replace him? Only Lee Johnson knows the answer to that. But yeah, right now I'd say the central midfield is a very weak area of the team. Some would say we've got the worst strike force, and Dino has said that before, worst strike force in the league. But the central midfield at the moment, there's no creativity to the forward line. And Jack Diamond, I thought, when he was taken off yesterday, our attacking threat, it dropped completely. I mean, the game overall from both sides, I thought it was a poor game, to be honest, from both sets of teams. I mean, the funniest tweet I saw was the game had as much quality as Jack Diamond's trim. I don't know if you rated this trim or not. It was definitely one of the worst trims I've seen.
Well, let me quickly jump in on that, Jacob. I would have killed for Jack Diamond's hair. I'd kill for any hair, actually. I think there's, is there not a lot of this Josh Scowen being a favourite of Lee Johnson? I mean, he's one of his former players, and I think there's a bit of that he I mean, that's how I see it. Michael, you was wanting to be in?
Yeah, well, the point I was going to make on, is it a coincidence that Power did all right at right back second half, and that yet McLaughlin played against exactly the same team, yet struggled in the first half? So I would argue that, yes, Hull didn't offer much second half, but could you argue that it's because Max Power thought did a decent job at right back to not let threats come in down that side, whereas McLaughlin was getting turned far too easily and letting crosses come in too easily. The general point of the midfield. The funny thing is, but I'm going to contradict myself here. As my mistake said, Power and Scowen, I think you can have one of them in the midfield. I do not think you can have both of them. We're too stationary, and we don't go forward enough with all of them in the team. And out of the two, it's a difficult one here because I don't see why Max Power deserves extra criticism. Forget the captaincy, take that out of it. As a player, why does Max Power deserve extra criticism to Josh Scowen, who himself has done nothing? I don't think Scowen's done that much either. If I had to pick one out of the two of them who I would drop, it probably would be Power if I had to make a flip of the coin decision. But I don't see the extra venom towards Max Power that Josh Scowen. Why does Josh Scowen not deserve the same credit?
I agree with what you're saying there, Michael. I know what you mean. I'm quick to criticise Power quite a lot, but Scowen's not really. Scowen's not really.
I'm not having that.
Scowen's not really putting himself out there and putting a shift in, like. But
that's the thing.
I think.
Sorry, Sean, go on.
I think Power, he's been here like it's a 2.5 year now, and I just think like since he's been here, we've been here that long time. What's he actually done? I don't know what he brings. I don't know what he brings to the team. I think, as I said on Twitter this afternoon, I says he's a passenger. He just lets the game go by, and he doesn't like take a player on. He doesn't pick a pass out. He doesn't like control the game. And I just think it's time we need to move on from him. We need to hopefully this new lad's going to be the bee's knees and he can show Max Power how it's done. But yeah,
just go to the Winchester, have a pint, and wait for it all to blow over.
Right, I'll come to you in a sec, Mad Mistake. Jacob's wanting in.
Yeah, I was going to say with Max Power being moved to right back yesterday, was the only reason. I mean, Sean, you highlighted this to me on Twitter. Was the only reason he was moved to right back is because Conor McLaughlin was injured? And that's why he was taken off that.
That's what I was going to ask you, lads, because I think it was like he had an injury. Did he know anything about that, or was it a tactical change?
I thought it was tactical, personally, because Conor McLaughlin was getting absolutely butchered by that Wilkes bloke in the first half. Like every time that he got the ball, he was just like running straight past him, couldn't get anywhere near him.
Too easily, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought the tactical change worked.
If that was going to be a tactical change, Jacob, right? Why would you put Power there to stop a threat?
Because we've got no one else to play.
He's got no pace. Wilkes was turning. He's got no pace. Power. So why would you put? If it was a tactical change, why put Power at right back? Do you know what I mean?
Who else you put there?
Playing centre half with Bailey Wright, and
maybe Sanderson. To be fair, could have Sanderson. He has got a little bit of pace. Sanderson. To be fair,
Sanderson. I don't know.
Right. We'll come to Mad Mistake. You was wanting in.
I want to say, first of all, I thought Tom Eaves had Sanderson in his back pocket. I thought Sanderson was pathetic against Tom Eaves. Tom Eaves should have scored.
Near him.
He couldn't get anywhere near him, which was bad central defending from Sanderson. But I thought I saw a little bit more from Scowen in midfield than Power. When Power plays in midfield, at least Scowen tries to break up the play a little bit. I'm not a big fan of Scowen, but I know deep down inside, Lee Johnson won't drop Scowen because he has previous with him. I think if one of the two has to go, for me, it has to be Power. He has to lead the team either onto the subs bench or just get rid of him in the transfer window. Because we've brought in Winchester now, we need to get rid of Power and probably Dobson. Maybe he's bringing another midfielder as well.
Yeah, well said, Terry. Yeah.
All right, quickly, Jacob, then we'll move on.
Do you think, though, with Ledbetter, do you reckon it's getting to a point of the season now where teams are starting to figure him out? I mean, he's just turned 35. We can't rely on a 35-year-old midfielder to play a consistent amount of games in this league anymore. Should he be potentially taken out of the team? Dino, you want in there?
Well, for me, this is Ledbetter's last season. I think he's at the end of contract. So for me, it's his last season. But you got to think his quick thinking set up the goal. He's the one who played the forward ball to Diamond, who knocked it back thingy. So he is still useful. I mean, he plays long balls forwards, but he's done it a few times where he's played a long ball forward, and it was just the other player who couldn't control it. Because I see McGeady, that happened last week with McGeady. McGeady couldn't control it when he got behind. So for me, Graham Ledbetter has got more more ability than Max Power and probably Josh Gowan passing wise. But yeah, his legs are going. But this is his last season, man. This is his last.
Mad mistake.
I don't think that the problem is Ledbetter. For me, Ledbetter's good with set players. He's good with free kicks. I would say Ledbetter, stop trying to spray the ball too far.
Yeah.
Keep the ball down, break it up, help the defenders, and then pass the ball forward to Winchester or to Scowen, who they can bring other players in.
I'm trying to get off this subject. Everybody's trying to get in again, man.
I've got one thing. I think it's time for someone to say goodbye to the club as well. I think it's time for Hamilton to go. He doesn't fit the system. He doesn't have a place in the team. And every time he's came on, he's done nothing for me as well.
I think
He can be taking set pieces.
Embleton's at the point now where he's got to start delivering, otherwise he hasn't got a future here, unfortunately.
Lee Johnson caught the day. I'm sure he says he's going to get his chance or something like Embleton. He said
I wish him all the best. Is it?
He'll play on Tuesday.
Right. Thane on the chat says Ledbetter is sideways and backwards. He also says, imagine if Winchester's left on the bench for ages, that wouldn't surprise him. Conrad, our editor, is contributing to the live chat, saying Gooch was better than Wyke. Try 09 in the power position. And right back either McLaughlin or Sanderson. So I still, we've had that discussion about Power. Yeah, he's poor in midfield. I just thought all I wanted to do was give him a bit of praise for second half yesterday. I thought he did all right myself. Terry, quickly.
The problem we have no forwards. We have no decent forwards who can put the ball in the back of the net. It's okay. Charlie Wyke's okay with his head when crosses come in the box, but when he's in the box, he can't turn on a sixpence. He's like a tank turning in the box. He's so slow, it's unbelievable. By the time, if the ball's at his feet, he will be robbed straight away. So we need a striker so much. We're crying out for a striker. We are so much.
So,
Tino?
right, with all these problems, we've got a bad midfield, we've got a bad striker. So why do people still think we can get top two with these bad midfielders and these bad strikers? What makes you still think we can get top two if we're that bad?
Up by summer.
We cannot.
You can't say we should be going for playoffs and going for top two, but our strike force is shit and our centre midfield is shit. I mean, it makes no sense. We're just contradicting ourselves. The team is not good enough. We all know that, but yet we're still saying, top two or playoffs. Because we are 3 points, but we're not going to get there. The team is shocking.
Ambition keeps us going.
Look, the only saving grace is if Winchester comes in, performs well, and we can get a striker from somewhere. This is Hibbs striker. Someone to come in, put the ball in the back of the net. We have a chance.
Right. Just quickly on this one then. I'll ask you individually. Do you think Lee Burge's injury contributed to his error in the goal with him having an eye injury? And thus, so if you think it did, why wasn't he taken off straight away? We'll start with Michael. Do you think it did contribute?
It probably did, but if it did, then he should have gone off straight away. And ultimately, it's his error that led to Hull scoring. So, yeah, I would say it probably did. You'd probably argue it did contribute, but like I said, if that's the case, then he shouldn't have carried on.
Right. Quickly on the chat, Tony Lee says 0 chance of promotion. Oh, wait, Tony, man, get with it. Right. There is that thing, though, with footballers. Footballers never want to come off. They get an injury, they don't want to come off. So if it has affected his vision, you can fully understand him not saying, I want to come off. Sean, do you think it contributed?
As I said on the live stream straight away, when the physio was looking in his eye, he's obviously got a cut. He'll have said to him, look, can you see? Can you see clearly? If he's at that point, he says no, or he's unsure, he should have been took off the pitch.
Exactly.
And to be honest, it was a really, really bad mistake. It's a set piece. It's straight on. It's not even a hard catch to make. It's into his body. Eric's not caught it. It was harder to drop it than to catch it. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
so the question is, was he not seen straight? If he wasn't, then he should have been took off. Do you know what I mean? Because that's effectively cost us 3 points.
It was probably a more important question is that has got to be construed as a head injury, to the eye. And with a head injury, you know how it is now. Head injury, you're off. It's as simple as that.
No,
Mad Mistake.
it's not a head injury. It's an eye injury. It's totally fucking
Wait,
different. Totally different. It's like getting a boss slip and you say, "Oh, it's a head injury." It's not. It's mouth injury. It's the head injury is your brain.
All right. Okay, Dino.
Sorry,
Sorry, Phil.
Right. All right.
Oh,
God. Right.
Phil's on form tonight, like.
Mad mistake. Mad mistake. Burge injury. Did it contribute?
I don't like to criticise managers, but the manager, this is what I want to say from managers, making proactive decisions. The manager has a keeper on the bench. Okay, Matthews is not brilliant, but he has a cut eye. Eventually, he was subbed because he had a cut eye. The manager needs to make a decision. Just put your stamp on the authority, take him off. Lee Burge should have said, look, boss, I've got a cut eye. It's affecting my vision. I need to come off.
Yeah.
You have substitutes for a reason. That goal, Lee Burge would have caught that every single day. He comes out well. He catches the crosses all day long. He would have caught it. His eye affected his vision. His vision affected his ability to catch the ball. For me, that was the only disappointment about Lee Johnson. He should have made a decision to take him off straight away. I know hindsight's a wonderful thing. But that I was saying in my live stream, he needs to come off.
Right. But should you not then ask the question, was Lee Johnson thinking, I'm going to have to bring him off? Who have I got on the bench?
That's why Patterson should be on the goddamn bench. Where's Patterson at? Where is he at? If he has no faith in Remy Matthews, don't play the goddamn keeper. Bring Patterson on the bench.
Okay.
Terry, you're a bit annoyed.
Right, Jacob, did it affect the goal, do you think, his injury?
yeah, big time. Personally, I don't think in terms of like, obviously Lee Johnson has a say of the players that come onto the pitch to replace some, but at the same time, I think considering it was an eye injury, should the medical team, like when they're treating a player, they get the final say whether that player has the right to continue or not. I don't know where the hands have gone.
But I'm saying, that's why I suggested the cut looked bad. So if that cut's bad, you've got obviously it looks like it needs stitches. I mean, if it's going to, his vision's going to be gone slightly, then he needs to come off, and that's probably contributed towards spilling the ball.
Can I hang on? Let me quickly jump in. Sean and Michael, why did you not just go off screen there? Because it would look funny.
Just leave me on my own.
We just left him on his own. That's the whole idea.
All right, bye.
Oh, it's too late now, Michael. You missed your cue. Oh, right. Sorry.
That's boring, yeah. Everyone just fucked off.
Right, go on.
Language, Jacob. Remember language.
Yeah, cheers, pals. Yeah, but this going back to like, it's the same with. I know it wasn't a head injury; it was the eye. But at the same time, medical teams on football clubs, like they need to put a stamp down and say whether that player is in the right state to continue a game of football or not. It's very dangerous to allow a player to continue with, obviously I know it's not the head, but still with a cut eye. I think it affected like his vision for the goal big time, because I think with full vision he would have caught that ball. I still have every faith he would have caught that cross, that free kick from Honeyman. But yeah, surely there's new rules in the game now where you can't allow a player to have the final decision whether you are allowed to stay on a football pitch or not. It doesn't matter where you say, I can continue. Yeah, there's blood still coming out my eye. But at the same time, it's not down to you. Leave it to the professionals to decide your fate.
Mad mistake, you want in quickly?
Jacob had to go for a drink. What did you say?
Well, the whole idea though, mad mistake, the whole idea, you went off, so Dino went off. So I just went off for a laugh, thinking that Sean and Michael would have gone off as well and just left Jacob on his own. But of course they didn't.
Whatever Jacob said was spot
You agree? On. It was spot on.
Thank
Said
you.
Lee Burge should have stayed on the pitch.
Bollocks! Fucking bollocks!
Right, Dino. Go on.
I think, like, for me, a one-eyed Lee Burge is better than a two-eyed Remy Matthews, in my opinion.
I saw that comment yesterday.
For all we know, Remy Matthews comes on and probably punches the ball in his own net, because look at the mistakes Remy Matthews made. Shot straight at him, head through his hands. Remy Matthews is prone to one of them mistakes. Let's be fair, Lee Burge, he made a great save with that bad eye. So, yeah, he made a mistake, but everyone makes mistakes. Goalkeepers, when they make mistakes, it normally leads to goals.
Well,
and for me, Lee Burge didn't do much wrong until obviously the mistake. But after that, he made a good save. He looked the point. Obviously, he had to come off because obviously they made a decision.
Sorry, Dino. You made a statement there saying that everyone makes mistakes. Obviously, you're not married to my wife, who apparently does nothing wrong and never makes any mistakes, apparently. So, I just
don't worry, Karen. You've got Michael waiting for you.
You cut me off for that, did you?
Hey, I'm just telling you. Sorry, mate. You were rambling. That's all. You're rambling. And you work for Amazon. Boo! Mad mistake.
I agree with Karen. She makes no mistakes.
Is this from personal experience? Like,
no, she didn't make a mistake when she picked me. No mistake there.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
Boo!
You kind of criticize.
Terry's like, no, I saw her first.
Yeah.
I never.
Terry, Bill, fine.
Right. Let me find this then. Here we go. Next thing I want to bring up. There's a few things I want to get in, but as usual, we'll probably run out of time.
20 minutes.
Yes, mad mistake. Go on.
Lee Burge went off at 46 minutes. Matthews came on at 46 minutes. How many mistakes did Matthews make for the last half of the match? 0. Matthews should have came on when Burge was injured.
Matthews had nothing to do, man. Matthews did nothing in the second half. He didn't have anything to do.
Exactly.
Because Max
A few crosses.
Max Powell was cleaning everything out.
If Matthews had came on for Burge, we might have won that match 1-0.
Or we might have got beat 2-1. He might have not saved the Tom Eaves header, and he might have let the other free kick in. You just don't know, do you? You just never know.
I know. I'm all wise.
Right. On the live chat then, Daniel, where I said Karen's never wrong. She wasn't wrong when she picked me. AJJ said, did the Labrador help Karen? Fair enough.
I don't get that.
Neither do I. Like
Labrador, blind. She was blind. She needed a Labrador.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Oh, here.
Shall we bar him? Shall we just bar him for?
Yeah, kick him.
Right. Next thing I want to bring up, Chris Wiley today on Twitter.
Who's that?
I don't know. He's Chris Wiley. If you want to follow him, by the way, if you're a fan of Twitter, like Sean, he is at Chris Wiley 1991. So there you go. Give him a follow. Because he put on, too many Sunderland fans believe we are a Premier League team. We are not. We are a League One team with a League One budget and currently have League One aspirations. The only Premier League thing we have is the fan base and the facilities. Sooner we realise this, the better. Now, that was on and it was highlighted by Michael in our group. Everybody's waiting to get in. Get in.
I'm just waving that man mistake because he's waving, so I'm just giving him a wave.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to
wave after wave.
Listen. I'm going to start with Michael because Michael lost his cool over this in the chat. I noticed. So we'll go to Michael, then we'll come to the mad mistake.
I think he's been very quiet tonight, Michael. I think he's been very quiet.
Well,
what's that, Dino? Sorry, what are you saying?
It's about the kickoff.
Right, Dean. Well, let's see if he's still quiet now. So that was the statement made on Twitter. Michael, do you want to respond?
If you're expecting me to kick off, you're going to be disappointed because I've lost because I exerted on my temper in the group chat. Yeah, as everyone knows, yes. Right now, I don't think the team is good enough to go up. But and you look at it, yes, we've got League One players. League One, we're in League One. Blah blah blah. All the usual crap we've heard before. Yes. On paper, that is right. But why does this all of a sudden imply that Sunderland fans aren't allowed expectation? Now, either we should expect to go up or expect to have a team that can go up. Not just can, will get into the top two. Why is... I'm not going to try not to shout about it, but what's wrong with it? What's wrong with... Why is it all of a sudden frowned upon for Sunderland fans to say, well, no, we expect better? To be honest, Like, you look at the amount of crap we've put up with over the last 10 years or so. You look at the 2 back-to-back relegations, the two Wembley defeats at the very last minute, in the last second in the case of Charlton. And we've watched so many, without being disrespectful, medium to average-sized clubs who've deserved to do better than us, but have nevertheless done better than us. So why are we not allowed expectations? I don't get it. Like, even if you look at this, like you said, it just baffles me. It just baffles us. Yes, in theory, we have to earn the right to go up. We've got no right to beat anybody. Of course we don't. But that doesn't mean you can't expect to win games, because if we can't expect them, then what's the point, in my opinion?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of what he says is, you know, we are a League One team. We do have a League One budget.
But what by Easter?
And no, I'm not saying listen, I'm not saying you're not allowed to have, you know, faith and when you go on the field, you've got to have that positive mentality. You can't be going, you know, saying, "Oh, we're in League One." But what I'm saying is, there's people, there are fans saying we should beat them because we were in the Premier League a couple of seasons ago.
If people are saying that, then yes, that's
it means nothing. Just quickly before we carry on, though, I'll come to you, Sean.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
But I need to say, we need to say happy birthday to Clayton Edwards, who's on the chat. He's
Happy birthday.
and
we
want to say happy birthday, Clayton. We hope you enjoy your toys and your colouring book and your new crayons you're going to get there.
Sorry, Clayton.
And don't eat too much of that birthday cake, because you'll be off school for weeks.
You'll be on sugar rush.
Right. So we'll go to Sean then, because Mad Mistake, what are you having for tea? First of all, can we have a look?
That very look nice, that plate.
Very look nice, did it? Very look nice.
Cheesy pasta. Forget cheesy chips. It's cheesy pasta's the way forward.
Is that chips as well?
Very nice.
Pasta, bacon, chips.
Pasta and chips?
The land of Carbifornia.
Oh, double carbs.
Right, go to YouTube.
Oh, Terry will burn it off, man. He runs every other day.
Yeah, energy.
Right. So Sean, that was the statement made on Twitter. Do you want to respond to it?
Yeah, like for me, when you're a big club, that's what comes with it as well as expectations. That'll never go. I mean, in our 140 odd year history, we've only been in this division like prior to this once. That was in 1988 with Dennis Smith, and we went straight back up. The expectations will always be there. I mean, you can't sit and tell me if, like, you know, one of the big teams at the Premier League got relegated, that they wouldn't expect to get back to the Premier League. It's called, that's what it brings with being a big club. That'll always be. It doesn't matter how long we stay in this division, we'll always be expected to get out. Why is this is what I mean? I was going to make this point as well, and I didn't. Why is the bookies, right? Why is the bookies always got us as the favourites? Not because of the squad, because
the name,
the size of our club. It's not.
Right.
It's nothing to do with the players.
No.
It's money.
Right.
It's money because the fact. No, but the fine fact, people are going to put bet on something knowing that they're not going to go up, and so they're going to make loads of money on there. Because people
also bookies like to give us as the favourites to lose money.
They're not going to lose money because they don't want to pay out, do they?
No,
but Dino, if you're going to do that, then do you want to put Burton Albion to win the league? Then do you want to put like Accrington Stanley to win the league? Well, to be fair,
what basis is the bookies putting that Sunderland in the last 3 seasons a favourite to win the league? Because the places.
Right.
What did we say this season when we were favourites? We went, what they're putting with favourites for?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. So that's because we're the biggest club in the league, and they're banking on us maybe just because we're the biggest club in the league. It's not because we are the best team in the league. It's because we're the biggest club in the league, and that's what comes with it. The expectation, the size of the club, you know, the expectations levels. It's got to always be there, and it can't just kind of weird just because you're in the third tier. It'll always be there.
Right, Sean. What we're going to do? We're going to try and see if we can get everyone else in as well before. Before the end. Chelsea, friend of the show. Hi, Chelsea. On the live chat says that Twitter lad is bang on like. And, you know, some will agree, some won't. Sean, you keep bringing up this. Last time we was in League One under Dennis Smith. And I remember I was, you know, when I went to the games and we came straight back up. What are you trying to say about that? I mean, we actually this season, the first season we came down, we missed going up by an injury time goal, and we could have gone up. And then,
no, well, aye, but that squad. I mean, I think we'll all agree that squad in the first season. If we had an incompetent manager, a manager who was capable of making the right decisions, we would have pissed that league. Would have walked the league. Would have absolutely walked that league if we'd had a decent manager who could have made the right decisions. We had a manager who just get a goal and just defend like mad. If we just went and got a goal and got another one, we would have walked the league that season.
Right.
Unfortunately for Stuart Donald that year, he employed Jack Ross. That was his biggest mistake.
Right.
That was his biggest mistake.
Right. Okay. I'll give you that, because I suppose the difference is because we did just miss out on that first season. However, the difference is back under Dennis Smith, we absolutely walked that league, which is what we did. Mad mistake. That's that quote on Twitter. What was said about us being a League One club. Go on.
I want to defend the Sunderland fans. I don't think for 1 minute Sunderland fans are that stupid to think we're a Premier League side. I think Sunderland fans are not delusional. I think Sunderland fans have expectations and have belief that they want to get promoted from League One. That isn't being delusional, want to be promoted from League One. Look at the size of the clubs in League One. No disrespect to League One clubs, but we are the biggest club in League One. I expect us to get promoted from League One with the team that we have, but the team's underperforming, full stop. I know we're not a Premier League side. I know the Sunderland fans are intelligent fans. They know we are not a Sunderland side. There's not one Sunderland living fan out there who thinks we're a Premier League side. Not one Sunderland fan. So that tweet me is absolute bollocks. We all know where we are. We just expect better.
Right, all right. I think that's very well. I think that's very well explained. That's a mad mistake, without a doubt. Because you can read in. I mean, we are. Well, if that's how you're saying it, we all accept that we're League One and we have a League One budget. But the guy did say on the tweet that we do have Premier League fans, Premier League facilities, and stuff like that. Jacob, then we'll come to you, Dino.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't get on the tweet was, what did he say? We have League One aspirations. Something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. What
does he mean by that? League One aspirations.
I know what he's saying. League One aspirations is in that we're writing off the Papa John's trophy, it's a Tim Pot trophy and this is a Tim Pot league. We should be in the championship. Maybe he's thinking that we think we're better than this league. Like the fans believe, because do you know what I'm getting at? Yeah, we should be winning the league and we shouldn't be in the Tim Pot trophy and all this bollocks. That's what you see. He's basically saying that we're saying we shouldn't be in this league, full stop, capital letter. Something we should never be in this league, but we are.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd like to think
I've accepted it now.
I'd like to think it doesn't mean in his tweet that the team have got League One aspirations, because like the point Sean was saying, you can't cross that white line thinking that, well, we're only League One. This team we're playing just as good as us because we're in the same league. I'd like to think he's not thinking it like that, but that's a good point, Dino. Maybe what he's saying is, thinking that we're Billy Big Balls and we're too big for these minor competitions. I don't know. Go on, Dino.
Well, see, this is the problem, right? We go into a game, like everyone here should go into a game going, we're going to win. But I believe every other team goes into the game against us saying, right, we need to win. So both teams are going for a win, but both teams can't win. It's as simple as that. It's not physically possible for both teams to win. Well, that's what I think. I think you both can't win, right? Unless you're Wickham, who can get an
Listen, Wickham did enough that season to go up because
did they?
I'm joking.
Of course they did. Otherwise they wouldn't have gone up. Because they went up because what they did in the first half of the season was good enough to send them up. That's how the system worked.
I'm joking.
Philly, you said that season though that you went in to write that season off because it was obviously cut short. You said before. You says that season should be cause a write off, but then now you say
it should be. Yeah, it should be.
Last season.
It should be, but the reality is it wasn't written off. Right. And the thing is, they had to come up with a system all right, to send some people up. And the system they came up with said that Wickham, all right, Wickham drifted off, right? But what Wickham did in the first half of that season was enough to send them up on doing the system they did. So if we'd had started better, then we'd have been in that position. But we didn't. But Wickham did.
I think the whole system was wrong. The points per game thing, it was totally wrong for me. Like,
can I finish my point? By the way, can I finish my point? Because I was just talking about that.
Right, go on then, and then Michael wants in. Go on.
Right, so we play these teams, right? We're going to win, they're going to win. So the teams play, and then when we get beat, you get some of the fan, like Michael says it all the time. We should be beating these teams. Yeah, no, you want to win the game against that team, but sometimes you just can't because that team's better than you on the day, or a costly mistake, or a refereeing decision, blah blah blah. And then, when we're saying we should be beating teams like Northampton, technically we shouldn't be beating any teams. We've got to go out and beat them teams, not go, oh, we should beat them because we're going for top 2 and they're just a relegation team. That's the problem.
Right. I'm going to go to Michael, then we'll come to the mad mistake. Andrew Robbins on the tweet, who's the serial online shopper, says his aspiration is to be back at the Stadium of Light, which I think everyone would like. Michael?
Actually, I wasn't going to talk about what Dino's just mentioned. I was going to something that it was back to the Wickham thing again. Actually.
Oh no, Wickham again, man!
Okay, I'm going to try and do a Phil and wind him up here. You know when you said that the season should be written off, therefore we can't judge Phil Parkinson. Well,
yes.
The season was written. The season wasn't written off. Therefore, we should have been judging Phil Parkinson.
Okay, whatever. You're right. I'm wrong. All right. Mad mistake.
Right. I have no clue what idea what Dino's talking about. But what I want to say, right, is that we made a rod for our own backs. We got beat against Bristol Rovers. We drew against Gillingham when we got, we were leading that match to the last second of the game. If we beat Gillingham, we would have gone on, probably played better against Bristol Rovers. We made our own mistakes. We didn't deserve to get promoted last season. Simple as.
Points from those last 2 games, you finish in the top 2. Simple as
exactly.
That.
That was our fault. That wasn't Wickham's fault. That was our fault.
Yeah, but in saying that though, the point about the like I keep saying, I've never once said that Sunderland have a right to beat this team, because if we think like that, we'll get beat. It's as simple as that. We've got to go out there and earn the results the same way everybody else does. But like we keep on saying, just because anyone can be anyone on the day doesn't mean you've got to be happy with not beating Northampton or, lost to MK Dons. Fair play, lads, go for it. Oh, lost to Wigan with only shot on target? No problem whatsoever. We're not going to, we can't, I'm not saying Dino is saying this because, to be fair, he didn't say it like this, but
But it's what he meant. It's what he meant.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's just, like I keep saying, I'm just getting bored of this whole thing. Yes, we've got to earn the results, but it doesn't mean you can't expect to win games. It doesn't mean you can't be unhappy with, like I keep saying, look at them lot of the road. When Newcastle went to the Championship, was their attitude really going to be, oh, well, we don't have a divine right to go up, so we're not going to expect it? Of course they wouldn't have had that attitude. They had I think they had one of the best, if not the biggest, budget in the league, maybe joint with Villa, whatever it was, and albeit just won the league. But, come on. There's nothing wrong with having expectations at all.
Michael, when them went down, them still thought they were going to get Champions League, man. This is the level there.
Dino.
The championship said we're still going to get Champions League. That's what they're about.
Dino, the only thing I respond to that is Bruce out.
Right,
I'm in the mood for a banter. Go on.
Couple of points on the live chat. Jalsy, friend of the show. And don't forget, Giles has got his own channel if you want to go along there and subscribe. And while we're on that point, by the way, we've only got 23 thumbs up. If you're just watching this now, just hit the thumbs up, will you? And let's get that at least.
Thumbs up.
If you think what Dino's saying is a load of rubbish, then did the thumbs down. And
you'll have loads of them, and you'll get loads of them.
Dino's the scapegoat, yeah.
But the reason I said that, Dino, is because Giles' comment was Dino should do his own channel, make some good points. So there you go. You got a fan in Jalsy.
Well, thank you, Jalsy.
So you'll have at least one subscriber. We won't.
Oh, depending on what he's like. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we won't subscribe to you, but Jalsy will anyway. So there you go. And also on the chat, Bradley Young says he's heard Phil Parkinson is to become Port Vale's manager. I don't know if that's. I don't know if
Could you
that's
imagine he becomes Port Vale
well,
manager?
I don't know. I don't know how true that is. I'm just reading it out. It could be a load of poo.
You know what's going to happen on Tuesday night now, don't you?
Sunderland 1, Port Vale 2. Phil Parkinson wins at the stadium.
Mad mistake in between your beer and your tea. What are you trying to say?
We'll beat Port Vale, for God's sake. Man, stop worrying about little tiny Port Vale. We will beat Port Vale.
That's very disrespectful.
Oh.
Tiny Port Vale.
He's going to regret saying that maybe now.
Didn't we get beat off Mansfield? Didn't we get beat off Mansfield? Didn't we get beat off Mansfield?
Exactly.
Off Mansfield and we lost 1-0.
No.
Under pointless Phil Parkinson, which I wanted out a long time ago and all used defenders.
Terry. So what happened if Phil Parkinson became Port Vale manager and he beat us? What would you say to that?
Won't happen.
So we'll rerun this. What he's saying. We will not get beat by Port Vale.
You can rerun as much as you want, right? I'll prove you wrong. We will beat Port Vale.
We can't even beat anyone at the minute. We can't beat anyone.
Oh, Dino, man, shut up, man. We'll beat Port Vale.
We can't beat anyone. We can't beat anyone.
Oh, goddamn
Oh, Dino, no, man, shut up, man.
Two teams. Have we not been beat by 2 League 2 teams this season already?
Dino, shut up, man. Shut up, man.
No. Can anyone tell me have we been beat by 2 League 2 sides?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have.
Rubbish. Useless, pointless Phil Parkinson.
Dino.
Believe in Lee Johnson. Believe in Lee Johnson.
Yes.
He'll turn it around.
Believe in Lee Johnson, but you're having to go for playing Max Power right back.
Ooh, fight!
Oh, come on. You've got to label this Dino versus Terry.
Look at if McLaughlin was injured, what else can he do? There's nobody on the bench. Phil Parkinson left the squad depleted. We have no right backs. Unfortunately, Luke O'Nine's injured. Luke O'Nine's injured. Who else can we play at right back? Who else can we play?
Wasn't McLaughlin's injured?
Younger's on the left-hand side. He's a centre-back. Younger's a centre-back. Left-hand side.
Centre-back, put Dion Sanson right back.
Right. Is Sanderson any good, like?
Right back.
He's done that position before.
Yeah, he played his first game there for us.
Yeah.
Right back.
Well, what I learned from watching Sunderland versus Hull is that Sanderson is Tessa Sanderson's nephew, which I didn't know. And don't say who's Tessa Sanderson. I knew, Dino. I knew you was going to say who's Tessa Sanderson. Tessa Sanderson. She'll whoosh.
Javelin.
Away, man.
I was going to say, is that your next door neighbour or something? I don't know.
God, man. Oh, I don't know. Right, look, there's loads we've not got. Phil,
why don't you add an extra 15 half an hour? And I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying it.
No, but people, thing is I'm waiting to go and watch Coronation Street. And a new place in the sun. Mad mistake.
Dino. Do you have faith in Lee Johnson? Are you behind Lee Johnson? Do you believe in Lee Johnson?
I've got faith in Lee Johnson. I haven't got faith in the players. I don't believe the players are good enough. Simple as that. So
can Lee Johnson bring his own players in the January window now and change things around a bit?
But isn't that why that Speakman's in? He picks the players, not Lee Johnson.
Yeah. No, but the infrastructure's been ruined, so there's nobody there to bring the players in. So Lee Johnson now, this is the only time Lee Johnson will have any say in the players coming in, because there's no coaches, there's no scouts or bollocks, because Stuart Donald's ruined the goddamn club.
Yeah, but don't forget, Terry, we can only bring in, technically we can only bring in loan players now, because...
Unless we sell players to get rid of Dobson. If Dobson goes, we can bring somebody else in.
Who's going to buy them? They're not good.
Apparently Warsaw wants Dobson back. Dobson will be okay.
I'll happily book him the taxi.
Right, listen, we're not going to. There's loads I wanted to talk about.
Add time on, man. Add time on. Come on,
up, man. It's all right for
Extra
you,
time.
Man. I've got to be up for work in the morning. You with your Amazon, right? Who start at any time you want, right? Us Hermes lads, right? Dedicated to the cause, man.
Absolute bollocks. You're afraid of Karen. You're scared of Karen. Karen wants you off at 8 o'clock for bedtime. So
that is exactly what it is. Karen, is it bedtime? I want
Karen, keep
bedtime. I was going to have a chat about the salary cap and these out of contract players, which was flying about all over Twitter and stuff like that. We got Port Vale on Tuesday, so we'll have a live stream of that if you want to. I'll not bother doing any predictions I will give a shout out to. We did predict on Thursday between myself, Conrad, Michael Bowers, and Jack Dodds. Michael Bowers said we would get beat 2-1 off Hull. So you were rubbish there. Conrad said we would win 2-1. And there was only me and Jack Dodds got the 1-1. So well done to Jack on that. Yes, mad mistake.
I phoned you from Aston. I said 1-1.
Yeah, and you said 1-1 as well. And Jacob, what would you have said?
What for Friday night? Not Friday night. Shit, sorry, Saturday. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. And Sean, what would you have said?
2-0 to Sunderland.
No, Sean, man, 1-1. You know the score.
Dino would have said 1-1. Sure he would have.
Dino, what would you have said? 1-1. Right.
Okay. Forget it. 1-1.
Right. Let me go now. Please, I want to go.
Just you go and make someone else host.
Why don't you just go off, get Conrad on? He continues hosting it.
Someone give him a call.
Listen, if you want to still, let me ask my wife if I'm all right. Karen!
What's it got to do with Karen?
Karen, I'll get my wife. Karen, come here. Karen.
I know I've got school tomorrow.
Oh, poor Jacob.
She's got a cat on her knee. That's
She's got a pussy.
Fuck's sake.
That's such an old school shit joke, mate.
You cover now?
I am fucking old school.
Come here.
Yeah.
The lads want to stay on a bit longer. Am I allowed to stay on a bit longer?
Yeah, you can keep them as long as you want.
Hey!
I've ever hide me nipples.
Don't behave, because there's kids watch.
Oh.
Right, okay.
What time's Watershed? Is it 9 o'clock?
Oh, God, honestly. I do apologise. Oh, man, you're going to get us banned. Christ almighty.
Score predictions against Port Dale, Philly.
Are we all right? Go on, all right.
Did you say Port Dale?
You said Port Dale?
I'm sure you said Port Dale.
All right, then.
Well, I don't know about Port Dale, but Port Vale.
Port Robbie Williams Dale.
Team minute.
Rochdale.
I'm
right.
loving angels instead.
Right, hang on. Well, we'll do them then. Right, go on then. Mad mistake.
5-0 Sunderland.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
5-0. Michael?
If Phil Parkinson gets appointed at Port Vale, 2-0 Port Vale. If he doesn't, 3-1 Sunderland. Write down whichever one you want. I don't care.
No, I don't want. I don't care attitude. I just want. All I want. It's dead easy. All we want is a prediction for the score. What do you reckon?
I'm going to assume Parkinson isn't in charge, and I'll say 3-1 Sunderland. But if he is, we'll get
3-1.
Funny.
Doom and gloom merchant, Mr. Dino. What do you think the score's going to be?
1-1. Penalties. Score penalties.
Go out on penalty.
Sunderland on penalties. Sunderland on penalties.
Shut up, man.
Hey, he's still predicting us to go through.
Telling you, penalties. It's going to be a boring draw.
Hang on, Dino. Did you say we're going to win on penalties?
Yeah.
There you go. Dino's still going for us to go through.
Right. Sean?
4-0 to Sunderland.
4-0. Jacob?
Boring 1-1 draw and then Sunderland to
what?
1-1
I
love Jacob knows, man. Me and Jacob know.
I love the way Jacob said that.
Hey, man, I don't want to say you're idiots, but you're idiots. I mean,
or a fool.
I won't bother coming on Tuesday now.
Fool. Right. Me, comfortable. I think I'm going to go with Sean 4-0. I think.
I'm surprised you didn't go with 10-0, me. Like, I'm surprised you didn't go for the 10.
Can someone please record that clip of Phil going 4-0, then we can prove how wong he is later in the week.
I'll edit it out, won't I?
I know, it'll be wrong because it'll be
Hold
5-0.
on. Green record.
Right, okay, so we got that. Right, are we carrying on then for another, 10 minutes?
Go on, why not?
Why not?
Bad mistake.
I want to say one thing. There's 164 people on the live chat. Please subscribe to the channel. Get us over 5,000 subscribers. Anybody out there hasn't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We all love you. Much appreciated.
That's a good point, that. Why don't I mention that all the time? Does it cost anything and is it free to do so?
Absolutely free.
All right.
That's Sean saying, man. You can't say that.
Excellent. Excellent. Right, so just do that and hit the thumbs up as well, because that's gone up a bit.
Give us a
Thumbs up.
Right, so the transfer window then. Right, we signed Carl Winchester from Forest Green Rovers. I'm totally honest with you, I know nothing about him, apart from he's a defender. Isn't he a...
He's not a defender.
Midfielder.
I thought he was... he's a defensive midfielder.
He's not a defensive
No.
midfielder. He's not a defensive midfielder.
All-rounder.
Well, I've read somewhere that he'll sit at the back of midfield. The
No.
defense.
No, he's a
right.
midfielder that's like a grafter. He does both things, and he's a better grafter than you, Philly. I can guarantee that.
God, I'll tell you what. I'm just looking at how to delete. Find you, little twat.
Oh.
You enjoyed that, Jacob?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we've renamed you. Right then. So all right, so he's right, so he's a midfielder. Okay. Did I not start this by saying I haven't got a clue who he is, what he does, or whatever? Right. So is he a good buy? And does anybody know anything about him? Is he, or are you just going to say he's League Two?
No.
He's League Two. So how can he come to League One, Sunderland, especially? Dino?
Well, I've heard people say he's like the League Two golden boy. He's been playing under his level for a long time, and they reckon that all the League Two clubs would have signed him, and he should be playing at League One at least. That's what I've heard. I've heard he's a grafter. He likes to try and run with the ball a little bit, which we lack. He's good. He's good for a pass, and he will get back and help defend. So he's like a box to box, but he's got both in his locker. That's what I've heard. And he's in his prime as well. He's 27 years old. He's in the prime of his years. We haven't got an over the hill player or someone who's too young. He's in the prime of his career at the minute. So can only be positives, to be fair.
Good. Sean?
Well, I've heard good stories about him. I mean, the good thing about it as well is Lee Johnson. He's actually managed him before at Oldham. I think 2013 to 2015. So he's seen him for 2 years, and I'm pretty sure when Lee Johnson come in, he said we needed to improve. The first thing was pace and power, and this, that, and the other. But look, he's obviously seen this player. He's went for him, and he thinks they can come straight in the team. I wouldn't imagine why he'd buy this lad Carl Winchester and put him on the bench. He's got to be coming straight into the team and improving the squad. But he's also, I've heard, he's good at keeping the ball as well. He's relaxed on the ball. So I've been told he can spray the ball around. Good passer, good vision. So for me, he's got to come straight in the team. And I think Saturday against Wimbledon, obviously he's cup tied for Tuesday, so he'll not play on Tuesday, but he will start. I'm pretty sure he'll start against Wimbledon on Saturday. I think I'm fingers crossed. It's a great signing. When we need three or four signings, who's going to make a difference to this starting 11.
Isn't it true that the Forest Green fans call him Winnie Esther?
Yes.
Michael, what do you know about him? Anything?
That apparently, like the others have said, apparently he played under his level. That he's clearly above League Two. I know the Forest Green manager's not going to downgrade him, but I think someone mentioned that apparently he's put on record that he should be playing in the Championship, in his opinion. So we'll wait and see if he's that good. But if he links midfield to attack better, which is what we need, then all for it. Fair play. Hopefully it works out.
Mad mistake?
It can't be any worse than what we've got. Put it this way, it's got to be an improvement. He's playing, when he was at Oldham, there were some big clubs in for him, apparently. They thought he had really good potential. He's a quiet man, but on the pitch, he roars like a lion. He's a leader. He takes control of the game, and he can pass the ball. And he's not one of these players who will break up play, but he will run with the ball and put a good pass in. He has a good percentage pass rate. And that's what we need, to link up the midfield to the strikers. But we need a striker as well.
And is it not true that, again, I think I've read or heard somewhere, but I could be wrong because I here wrong. Lee Johnson's good at finding lower league players and qualities. That's
Done that. Yeah.
Did I get that bit right then? Did I hear that bit right?
Bristol City, done that Bristol City really well.
Right.
Yeah.
Numerous times.
Jacob, what do you think? Carl Winchester?
Yeah, considering that he's worked with him before at Oldham, I got it wrong, by the way, in the transfer video that's coming on for the Instagram. I thought it was at Cheltenham he worked with, but it turned out it was at Oldham. But from what I've heard, good all-round player to have in the midfield. Apparently from Forest Green Rovers fans, he offers good leadership as well, which is important. But in the signings that we need to make in this window, quality needs to come first and an experience second. And I believe, considering that Lee Johnson's worked with him before and he has been dubbed to play a lot higher than what he's playing now, I wish him all the best, and hopefully Lee Johnson can make him an even better player what he is now, like he did with a few players he brought in when he was Bristol City manager. So all good things to come, fingers crossed.
So by the sound of it, it all sounds quite promising. Dino, do you know anything about him?
I've already said my piece. I said I was the first one to start.
Maybe I'm just getting old then.
Mad mistake?
Or maybe you just don't listen, or maybe you just didn't listen to a word I said.
I think the mad mistake.
What did you say, Dino? Sorry?
I think the mad mistake's already out. Have you said your bit?
Yes.
Oh, maybe I'm just going. See
it's
now.
after 8 o'clock now. He's not normally on, so he doesn't know what he's saying.
Right. Okay. So you're on about mad mistake said earlier about with this. We need a striker. He was on about the guy from Hibs and stuff like that. I'll hold my hands up. This salary cap thing, I don't know exactly how it works. Do we know what our there's a certain amount in it? Was it Crawley today when it was on the telly? They were saying their salary cap's 1.5 million or something like that. Is that? Do we know what ours is? Can somebody explain it to me?
It's 2.5 million. We'll have to have 2.5 million salary cap. We have now the full budget. We have to sell players before we can bring players in who are over the age of 21. That's as far as I know.
Right, but so we're paying out £2.5 million worth of wages. Is that what we're saying? Is that what the salary cap is?
We're paying out more. We're in a better position this season because when it was all arranged, we had Bailey Wright already in, who were paying more. We had Aidan McGeady already in on a massive wage, but he's capped at a certain amount. So we are this season in the best position possible to get promoted. If we don't get promoted this season, it will steadily get harder and harder to get promoted.
Right. So are we saying if we're up to our limit then, so we can't buy anyone in until we sell someone? Is that right? Or have I got
That's
that
what
wrong?
I led to believe, yes.
Until someone's wages is off the books, yes.
Right, okay. But it's different with loan players, is that right?
Yeah.
If they're 20, I think, is it 20 years old or under, or 21 or under?
21 under.
Their wages don't count towards the cap.
I've heard Lee Johnson has contacts with Premier League teams to bring in young loanees from the Premier League.
Dino, you want in there?
This is why next season we're going to be in a better position to sign players, because there's at least about 10, 12 players out of contract next season, and they're the high earners. Grant like Ledbetter, McGeady. So all these players who are coming out of contract, we're going to be in a better position next season to sign players, because the salary cap it won't be as high because we're getting rid of a lot of high earners. So for me, next season is the season because we are going to be in this league. I believe we'll be in this league next season. I really do. So next season is where you need to stamp your mark at the start of the season and sign the best players you possibly can to put yourself in the best position to get promoted.
Sean?
Philly, just quickly, have you seen the players what's out of contract? Do you want to quickly just read them out? Or
you can do. I was going to come on to it next, but go on.
All right, it's
go on, name them.
Right, Lee Burge, Jack Diamond, Danny Graham, Denver Hume, Grant Ledbetter, Chris Maguire, Callum McFadden, Aidan McGeady, Conor McLaughlin, Luke O'Neill, Max Power, Josh Gowan, Jordan Willis, Charlie White, all of them out of contract in the summer.
Right, but so should we not now be looking at those players we want to keep? Definitely. And offering them new contracts, because it's all right saying they're out of contract in the summer. It means it leaves us ourselves wide open to just to just lose them. So is that what we should be doing now? Offering?
Well, if you think about it, I mean,
Max Power, he should be offered something, should he?
Well, no,
right back.
On a serious note, I mean, Ian McGeady's on 16 grand a week. I mean, if he's going to stay another season, he's going to have to lower his wage demands. I think, to be fair, I think it'd be best in our if McGeady just goes, because it frees up a lot of wage. Yeah, I mean, 16,000 grand a week is.
But that's not a lot in your terms, Sean. You're on close to that, aren't you?
Well, Nissan.
Yeah, and Dino's the same at Amazon. Mad mistake?
Look at these two deserve big wages, the clever lads.
Yeah, I didn't set the door.
The thing is, Philly, there's only about 4 or 5 players I'd want to keep out of them. It'd be Willis, Diamond, Luke O'Nien,
Max Power.
No, fuck Max Power, no.
Josh Gowan, Charlie White.
Josh Gowan. Did I see Lee Burge as well?
Lee Burge is first on the list.
Yeah, she said Lee Burge.
And then
so there's 3 then. 3 players you'd like.
No, there's if I had the list in front of us, I'd name them. I think you let go of most players, 100%.
Is Denver Hume one of them that you'd want to keep?
Denver Hume, yeah, I'd probably keep him because we need left back.
Lads, do you think for Lee Johnson, he's come in at a bit of a bad time? Do you think this season's probably asking a bit too much of him to get this squad and sort all this out in this season? Do you think maybe he needs to get to the summer and then a massive rebuild and then go for it next season? What he's written on that?
Well, I'd agree.
The thing is with this salary cap then, and people keep saying, is it only in League One and League Two, the salary cap?
League One, League Two. That's what I can understand. That is how we've all. We're the biggest side in this league. We've got the biggest revenue. How are they restricting us? So if we sell 30,000 season tickets, right, and we get a massive sponsorship deal, so then we've got to be on the same wage cap as not being disrespectful here, but your Accrington Stanleys, your Northamptons. That's absolutely criminal. That, I mean, it's like sitting in Man United and Man City. Oh, right, Hughes is on a salary cap as well. That needs to go to the courts and get sorted out, because that cannot be fair. It's not fair. It's restricting us from spending what we should be allowed to spend. We're the biggest side in the league, so we should be allowed to spend what we make. Do you know what I mean?
Don't spend.
Whoa, Dino. Mad mistakes went to get in. Wave your hand and I'll get you in.
I completely agree with Sean's point of view, but we're in League One. It's our fault we're in League One, right? End of the day, it's about saving clubs, longevity. Clubs have been around for a long time. Bury's gone. We don't want to see any more clubs go by the wayside. So I'm happy to stay in League One with the salary cap. End of the day, if it saves the clubs. But I think eventually we will get promoted. Might not be this season. Lee Johnson has a free pass this season. He will rebuild the squad. Whether he's the man to take us up, I don't know. I've had Barnsley fans on and other fans on saying he isn't a very good manager. That's only their opinion. But we'll know in the future. But for me, this season, Lee Johnson has a free pass. I don't mind the salary cap. I know it's a little bit unfair because we are the club that's suffering in this league because of it. But I want to see other clubs like, example, Accrington Stanley, Cheltenham, survive. That's the main thing.
That's a fair comment.
Well, I got a sec, Sean. Dino's waiting to get in. Right, go on.
We're saying about the salary cap and stopping us from spending. We don't spend anyway. So all the money we make, we don't spend anyway. So it's like a pointless argument, really, because we're not going to. You might make the money, but you're not going to spend it because it just goes straight to the club anyway, or goes straight to Donald's pocket or whatever. But the salary cap is there, so teams don't, like you say, end up like Bury or end up like Bolton, who nearly went under.
But what I'm saying is, you kind of put so if we have got a revenue, say, I don't know what's off the top of your head, but you kind of put us on the same revenue terms as them other clubs or not. It's a good thing to do to save clubs like Terry said, like your Bury's gone under, and it's good in that respect. But then it's totally unfair on us. Like, to restrict us, to put us on the same wage salary as them, when we're like making probably 10 times more money by sponsorship deals and season ticket sales and things like that. It's just not. I'm sure with the PFA is going to they were going to be looking into this anyway, because they're saying it's not physically fair for some teams anyway. So I'm sure that a lot less long this salary cap like anyway. But hopefully we're out the league then by that point.
Right. Okay. So obviously for us, we need to get out of this league as soon as possible. And I'm now asking the question then with Louis Dreyfus coming in, and in a way, it doesn't matter how many billions he's got, does it? While we're still in this league, if we can only spend
he was restricted because it's out having a billionaire owner who's got his mum's got 10 billion and he's got 2 billion in the trust fund. But if you can't, the financial fair play thing, I mean that stops you from spending beyond your means, yeah. But the salary cap's just like it's just like. Why have they only brought it into League One, League Two? Why isn't it on the Championship in the Premier League? Do you imagine them trying to do that in the Premier League and say, "Oh, Man City, you not pay anybody over 100 grand a week"? It'd be absolutely. You know what I mean? You kind of right. You know what I mean? That's what the financial fair play thing was for Philly to stop the teams from spending beyond the means. Do you know what I mean?
We'll come to my mistake. Well, go on. We'll do you, and then I'll come in with my theory on.
Does anybody actually believe Louis Dreyfus is a real person? Does he actually exist? Is he like a Kaiser Soze or that movie? What was it called? The movie again? What's that movie called? Does he actually really exist, or is it something that Stuart Donald's plucked out of the air with Charlie Methven? Let's create this guy who doesn't really exist. We'll make him up and we'll pretend we're going to sell him shares.
You're not happy about the new appointment, then?
Surely it should be happened by now, for God's sake.
I said middle of January.
How long does it take?
I think the AFL checks that says like reliable journalists like James Hunter, Phil Smith, Mark Donnelly, and Keith Downey have all said that there shouldn't be any problems with the checks with the AFL. I'm just.
But is he real? Does he exist? Is he the boogeyman? Is he the boogeyman? He's definitely real. Like his father was the former owner of Marseille, and he also had a Belgian club as well. Have you seen him? Have you seen him before?
I've seen pictures of him. I've never seen him in real life.
I've seen pictures. Have you not seen him in real life? Does he exist? He's an abominable snowman. He's a Yeti of Sunderland.
Right. Just I mean, I don't know if my mind works a different
Usual
way,
suspect, that's it, yes.
But surely, there's got to be a way around this salary cap. Can we not do like bonuses and backhanders and brown envelopes and all that?
That's what somebody asked William Story on Twitter before. Are you going to be bringing these Premier League players in? Are you going to? I think you've put something before about Barini. Now Barini was a free agent.
Yeah, I was just like,
he tweeted something about us getting Barini. I'm thinking, William, let's be really. We're not going to be getting Fabio Barini, who was on like 80 grand a week, and then he went to. Did he go to? I think he went to Italy. Did he go to Italy for a spell?
It's AC Milan.
I mean, let's be realistic. You know, what I mean, it's
Philly.
Yes,
we're not talking about DJing now, backhanders and brown paper bags, you know.
Well, you know, I mean, but surely there's got to be a way. Dino,
how can someone like Fabio Barini be on 80 grand a week? How he's not even a good footballer. He's average at best, but he's on 80 grand a week.
I don't think he's. I think Sean was using that as an example. I don't think it was.
No, he was. He was at Sunderland. He was on 100 grand a week at Liverpool, and then we got him on loan. And then obviously we signed him. And he was on 80 grand a week when he was him in Defoe. Defoe was on 100 grand a week, wasn't he?
Well, either way, the main point stands that Fabio Barini wouldn't that wasn't realistic. Whatever wages Barini was on, it isn't realistic. The salary cap thing is. The biggest thing is if we try to renew some of these players' contracts, I think this season players who were already, I might be wrong here, but
who was that?
Dino.
You
can hear that.
Dino.
All the way down south.
What I do?
Dino.
Right. Okay.
Sponsored by Old Outsider.
Dino, everyone's just pointing the finger at you by the looks of it. The players who were in at the club before the cap was implemented, apparently their wages only count 1,750 towards the cap, whatever it is. And apparently if you renew their contracts, then their full wages will count towards the cap. So it begs the question with a lot of the players that are out of contract, don't be surprised to see at least more than half of them go. For that reason alone, if the cap's still here.
Sorry?
I don't think McGeady would want to go. His kids are settled in Durham. He wants to stay in Durham. I think he would take a salary drop.
In order to do it, though, wouldn't you have to drop? You have to drop your wages significantly. Would you want to do it?
I think he would because his family's settled. He's at the time of his life now where he's comfortable. He's comfortable in his life. And I think he wants to stay in the Northeast. He wants to stay at Sunderland. So I think he would accept a wage drop personally.
Fair enough.
Whether he's good enough is another thing.
Right. Well, before we wrap it up then, Saturday, Wimbledon away. How important is it for us to win that? Is the season over if we don't win that?
Massive.
Very important. We need to
it's
win.
Absolutely. I mean, every game now is huge. I mean, with the games we're going to play it back, but for me, it's another game where we've got to win. We've got to get 3 points. We need to start winning games and not drawing. I mean, our last 3 games, we've played. We've getting 3 points out of a possible 9. That's not good enough. I know we've played Hull and they're a good side, setting from top. But like I said, I've had the stat earlier one win in 9 league games is the worst one we've been on since we dropped into this division, and it's not acceptable. We need to start winning football matches in quick.
Right, fair dues. Michael, is it game over if we don't win on Saturday?
Well, obviously, while the gap to whatever we think if we're going to get there or not, the fact is the gap's 3 points to the playoffs. Top 2 for me is gone.
Shut up.
Well, okay, fine. In my own head, and I really hope I'm wrong, top 2 is gone. Anyway, playoffs still is achievable. Even whatever people think of the squad, it's achievable with the points gap. It's foolish to write it off, in my opinion. We do need to win.
Right.
You fool, Dino. You fool. You're an absolute fool.
Listen. I mean, I know you're all saying top 2 is gone now, right? What happens if we win? If we win the next 5 games, then it's top 2.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. Top 2 is still achievable. It's simple as that.
It is, yeah.
You could also grow a touch sometime as well, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean?
The frustrating thing is, mathematical. Top 2 is the frustrating thing is that nobody wants to run away with it at the top of the league. So if we wanted to get top 2, we could. You'd have to go on a half decent run to do it, but we haven't done it. God knows how long.
Right. Okay.
That is massive.
Man, mistake. Is it game over if we don't win? If we don't win on Saturday,
I do think we'll beat Wimbledon, but this team is terrible. I've seen nothing against Hull that was any different than we played with Phil Pattinson. The same team, the same rubbish performance. Yeah. There was no ambition. There was no creativity at all. Lee Johnson's got a massive job on his hands. He has to bring in his own players. It's going to take time. Top 2 has gone. Do not even think for a moment we can make the top 2. It's impossible. We're not going to make the top 2. Last night, it was like a Phil Pattinson team. The team itself have no clue. They are hopeless, that team, as a collectiveness. 1 or 2 individuals are okay, but the rest of them, they need to go. We need to bring in new players, new blood. Lee Johnson needs to change it completely.
Listen, why is no one saying that, everybody's had to say that if we'd beaten Hull, right, would have got credit for it because they're in second place, right? Why is it that people are saying, I mean, we've got a draw. Why can't people say we've got a point off Hull? Hull are a good team in second place.
Hull lost 3 games. Lost 3 games on the trot.
Right, all right. So we'd have won. So here we go. Then, Terry, if we'd have won, you'd have gone. If we'd have won, you'd have gone. Well, but Hull are out of form, so they're off form.
At what part of last night did you watch that match? Did you think we were going to win? And what
second half? What
delusional point?
No.
Wilkes had chances. We created absolutely nothing.
No, man,
we were clueless.
No.
Second half. Rubbish. No.
Second half.
Break it up.
No, man. We were like centimeters off scoring a goal
We weren't. We were nowhere near scoring. What game were you watching?
Power put a cross in, and it went past two of our players, and they missed it. They missed it by that much.
Rubbish.
You're wrong.
Charlie White's
You're
rubbish.
wrong.
The forward line.
You're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Danny Graham's shite.
No, you're wrong.
No, you're wrong with that team.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
We're never going to win last
You're
night.
wrong.
Hull was a better side.
You're not coming on here again.
That's embarrassing for us.
Shite. Right, I don't
I
even
think we
know.
better go before this gets nasty.
I don't know where we were. Anyway.
Wimbledon.
Oh, yeah, Wimbledon.
Wimbledon
Yeah,
winning.
that was it. Jacob, if we don't win on Saturday, is that a game over for us? Promotion-wise, I'm on about.
Well, it's never over till the fat lady sings, but I can understand fans' point of view.
Karen, shut up singing.
Oh, God.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
we'll forward.
Seriously. Oh, no. No, it's not over. It's not over.
Read the chat, Mayfully. Read the chat. Go on, look at your subscribers.
I haven't got. Listen, I haven't got my
Let
glasses.
me read it out.
No, I haven't got my glasses
Terry.
on.
I agree with Terry. Terry is correct. Terry is hit the nail on the head. Terry hit the nail on the head. Thank you. Good night. God bless, and may your God go with you.
Oh, I've just been whacked. Right.
It's still not over.
Conrad says my wife would knock me out. She's going to knock me out after. Don't worry. Dino,
Hello.
if we don't win on Saturday against Wimbledon, is that it? Are we? Oh, by the way, Conrad says Terry is wrong. Yay!
Delete that comment.
Conrad, you know it, Conrad.
Right. Dino, is it game over for promotion?
It's game.
How about
It's
you?
game over. It's game. Of course, it's game over. Just because you win one game doesn't mean we're in it now. It's a consistent thing. You've got to be consistent. Sunderland are the most inconsistent team in the league. You
Are
can
we
win
not?
one. I mean, it's all around. If you win tomorrow, it doesn't mean we're going up. You can get beat the next 3 games. So tomorrow is just another game.
The opposite could apply.
game.
You could lose one game and then say, but you could win the next 3.
Yeah, and then you could lose the next 6. It's
Right.
a consistent thing.
Well,
You've
yeah.
got to win every
Right,
game.
Listen, it's ifs and buts.
Game
But
over.
Dino, you think we're done for a promotion now anyway?
Of course
Don't you?
not. Yeah, well, the team's not good enough, man. You kind of get promoted with the worst strike force and the most deadest midfield in the league. You can't go up. You're literally counting on like nicking a goal. Because when was the last time we actually played good and beat teams like 3-4-0 or 3-1, 2-1? It's
Lincoln.
always one. That was. And how many times? Michael, how many times have you done that this season?
No. The question you asked was, what was the last time we did it? And I've just given you the answer. Albeit,
Right,
I don't
Right.
expect to do that consistently, but there you go. I was just trying to.
Right, listen. Our next five games then: Wimbledon, Plymouth, Shrewsbury, Ipswich, and Gillingham. Right, 4 of them are winnable, are they not?
Definitely.
All of them are winnable. Every single one of them's winnable.
So if we, Dino, they're all winnable. So if we win 5, bearing in mind Ipswich are doing worse than us at the moment, right? So if we win them 5 games, we're going to be top 2. We'll be heading for top 2, won't we? Mistake.
But then you can get beat 5 games after
But
that
we
and be back in
won't,
the same position.
because we'll then be on a roll and we'll have that winning mentality and we'll keep it going. Mad mistake.
Ipswich didn't play a game for 20 days and they lost to Swindon yesterday. That proves what COVID does to a team. We're getting better with each week. Next week, we'll beat Wimbledon. Doesn't mean we're going to get top 2. We won't get top 2, but I agree with Michael. The playoffs is definitely on.
Just to make it clear, I don't think we'll do it to get in the top 6, but
it's a possibility.
I want to be in the top 2, though.
So do I.
Don't we all?
I want to be in the Premier League.
Supposed to be in the top 2.
You know what? Everything's always doom and gloom with you lot. You've got any positivity about you, have you? I mean, I don't know. Well, no,
You sang that for 3 years straight by Easter.
Up by just after Easter, then. All right.
You just keep postponing it. You keep saying up by Easter 2019, 2020,
Yes.
2021.
Well, all right, okay. Right. I'm going to go.
Up by May Bank holiday.
Right, listen. I've got to say, it was a good one tonight, lads. Thank you very much for your input. So well done to all of you. Thanks to everybody for watching. If you've joined in on the live chat, I'm sorry we haven't got so many of you tonight because we was too busy bickering amongst ourselves. If you've enjoyed it and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Sean, what is it?
It's absolutely free. Doesn't cost a penny. So please
Good
subscribe
man.
to our channel.
There you go. So do that if you would. We're still trying to hit our 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible if we can. We will be back on Tuesday with a live stream for the Port Vale game, which we're going to win. So please tune in for that. And we'll be back also on Thursday for an edition of Thursday Night Live. So from myself, we Philo. Where am I from?
Definitely time before.
We Philo.
I'm not even drinking wine tonight. We Philly, myself, Dino down there, Jacob Kirkbride from Sean Middleton from The Mad Mistake, and Michael Bowers. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you